let's go ahead and implement the file upload from the client side. So let's get into the component and then create post. This is where we are going to implement the file upload. So over here, you're going to have some local state here, and we want to preview the image before uploading. And we want to display some error in case the user uploaded some file that is more than the limit or some unexpected file. So here I will say file local state, and here we're going to use const and then provide image error and then set image error, which is equal to useState, and then by default it is empty string, and then duplicate. This one is for image preview, and then set image preview. And for this, we're going to use nar by default. The key point here is that the way we upload from Postman is going to be the same thing. Now, our API supports file upload. Therefore, we need to combine the file plus the JSON data that the user is typing here and send to the server. So it means that we are going to follow the same principles by using what is called form data over here, which is this one. So how are we going to implement it at the front end? So let's see the steps. We are going to create, let me collapse these guys from here, and down here I will say file upload logics. So first of all, we will need what is called handle file change, and then we will need what is called remove image, and that is if you want to remove the image that you want to upload, you're gonna have a handler for it. And let's see the field for the file upload. It begins here, and then we have the input field. This is where we are going to focus on. Over here we have ID of images. For this one, we can remove it. This one is just for the label for the HTML4 property. And the key point here is the type and the name and then the accept. So for this one, it means that we want to accept any image type and then the onChange handler here. So let me uncomment it. And now we are going to create this one over here as const and then the handle file change, which is equal to this. And let's continue to explore. So here we have the choose a file, which represents this one. And then we have the add post, which is this, and this is what you see over here. So it means that we need to add that one to our formic to be able to handle. So here we will say image here, and then by default it is empty. And let's add the validation also, and I'm going to duplicate and change this one to image, and I will say image is required. So now how are we going to access the file the user is selecting? For example, if I click on the choose a file, and if I select any of the images here, I want to have a preview, but for the meantime, don't worry about that. And let me bring back the heading here, and now I can see the image that I have selected. For this one, I want to know the image that I have selected. And remember, we have what is called handle change here. So we have the properties about the image inside this handle file change as what is called event. So here we have access to the event, and then we are going to lock the event over here as event. So if I open the console and let me refresh it, and don't worry about this warning, and if I choose an image, as you can see, we have the file being selected inside my console, and we can go ahead and then send this data to our backend for file upload. But we need to implement what is called validation on this particular image. So inside the handle change, we are going to add a couple of logics. So here we want to get the file that has been selected. So here as get the file selected. And we can get it from what is called the event dot current target. If you console log that, you're going to see that as current target dot files, and then you're going to grab the first index and let's go ahead and then assign to what is called file, and let's log the file as that, and let's see inside the console. Let me refresh it and choose a file. As you can see, we have the file that has been selected with the name, last modified, and then the size. And we also want to check the size because we don't want the user to upload 1 gig of image or 100 megabytes of an image. So we are going to prevent that also inside here. So next step is that you're gonna limit the file size. And on the file, which is this one, so it's going to be as if the file on that we have a property called size. If it is more than 1 megabyte, we want to throw an error. So here, we're gonna specify 1048576. Then we are going to set the image error in our state. Then we will say that file exceed 1 megabyte. Then we will go ahead and then return without allowing the user to upload. And then let's also check or limit the file size or file type. So here is going to be if, and then array of the accepted values as quote image /JPEG, and copy this one, comma /JPG, and then comma /PNG, and we have a method called .includes, and then provide the type as file, then our curly braces. So we are going to inject this one as that. It means that if the type does not include any of these ones, then we will say that the file the user is uploading, we don't support that. So we will say that set image error, and we will say that invalid file type. And lastly, we are going to set the image preview, and it goes like this. We're going to bring in formic.setFieldValue, and then provide the image, and then the file itself as that. And next step is that we're going to use set image preview, and we're going to use what is called URL from JavaScript, and then create object URL, and then pass in the file. Alright, so now let's go ahead and then finish up. Let's scroll down here, and now let me uncomment this, and this is where we are displaying the error message. So let me bring it back. Alright, and then the error message also for this, let me uncomment these guys, and this one is for the preview. So here it simply means that in case we have, alright, let me uncomment first, and then I will explain what is going on over here. So here it means that in case we have image preview, remember we are updating it here inside here as set image preview. In case we have a value on that, it means that we have an image. Therefore, we are going to display this image tag and then display the image preview. And now let me uncomment this one out. So moment of truth. So if I refresh it and then if I choose a file, let's see, where for some reasons we got some beautiful error as this icon is not defined, and that is a reference error. So let's require that. Or for the meantime, let's remove that icon. Let's see the icon, which is somewhere here. Let me copy that and then use Command F to find that. Yeah, this one. So let me comment out this particular icon and let's see our logic if it is working. Let me choose a file. And now, as you can see, the image preview, and if I select, let me use different one, and now it worked. All right, so let's bring in the icon from React icons. So here as that, and let's bring it back, which is this one. So if I do that, as you can see, we have the icon here to remove the image. So let's go ahead and then remove the image preview. So let me bring it back. We are going to create this function and we have the skeleton here. Let me collapse this, and this is the skeleton as const, and then remove image. And let's continue how to remove the image. So here we are going to write a few lines of code, 1 or 2. So here for make as set field value, and then pass in the image, and the value here we're going to use null. Then set image preview, we are going to use null, and that is it. So let me choose an image and click on that. It is gone. What has left is we want to take the text plus the image, and then we will go ahead and upload. Let's continue in the next video.